another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks. Today, I've got two of our new city leaders, our city council members from District 6, John Faile, who told me earlier we're at Bowers Park, by the way. This is his district. And we have council member Cassius Lanier, who really borders this.
Yeah, I'm claiming half of that.
Claiming half of it as well. And so it's really interesting as council members, they're all very territorial, as you can imagine, but in a good way, in a very good way. But we're here to really just get to know these new council members, to understand what makes them tick, what's important to them throughout the term. So I'm going to start first. I'm going to go left and then right. So Mr. Faile, talk a little bit about yourself. Who is John Faile?
Who is John Faile?
And why did you run for city council?
Wow. Well, part of both of that's the same answer. You know, I was a policeman for 25 years. I felt like I gave a lot of service to the city. And then 20 years, I was at the Juvenile Detention Center and gave more service. And I retired. And I just didn't feel right. I wanted to do something else. I'd been of service all my life. And this opportunity came along and I took it, and I hope that I've been able to help some folks in the last 4 months. I feel like I have.
Well, I can say that you have. And Mr. Lanier, same for you. Why did you decide to run, and tell people a little bit about yourself?
Well, I guess just growing up in a household, my father, who did community service his entire life.
And he was a great guy. Your dad was a great guy.
Absolutely. And so when I finally got my head together, I was doing the same thing and working in the community, with the youth, high schools, middle schools, all over the community, the elderly. And so I was already kind of like working in that position without the authority to do certain things in my district and for the city. And so I felt like if I'm already doing it, why not go and get a seat at the table where I can help with decisions that will help the entire city, not just District 7. And so I made a commitment to run, and I won twice.
I have to tell you, Cassius makes me feel...
That is true, man.
He makes me feel a little old because my daughter and Cassius went to high school together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my classmate.
How about that?
Yeah, we were friends since about 6th grade through school. So
I'm trying to figure out somebody you don't know in Tuscaloosa. I think if we started
it's going to be hard.
That is going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. You know, us going to Central High School when it was well blended in the mega high school, Central was what Hoover and schools like that want to be, Thompson and things like that. We already had that locked in. Right. So it gave us a good chance to be diverse and have great friendships that lasted our entire life.
Well, I told people since I've been elected mayor, I wouldn't be mayor if it wasn't going for Central.
No doubt about it.
Because you learn to know and love everyone.
Absolutely. The entire city was in one school. I mean, as far as the schools that counted, because we went to Central, so we was the only school that counted.
That's right.
I'm hitting that at Norman. Norman went to County High, so I shoot shots at Norman.
And I still don't like County High.
I still don't. I told my wife the other day we was watching the game. I said,
please, no cards and letters.
My granddaughter graduated from County High, so it's okay. It's okay.
No, I love County High.
I just got a special beef with them, but it's special.
But I understand that.
I'm the only school that want to beat them.
Yeah, I got it.
I
cheer for them
and to their credit, those that were at County High when we had Central the way it was,
they still feel the same.
They still feel the same way. So I certainly understand it.
Yeah.
Now, you've been on the council now. Both of y'all have been on a few months. Biggest surprise, Mr. Faile?
Whoa, that some of the phone calls we get that have absolutely nothing to do with the city. I mean, I've tried to help people, but some of the phone calls are outside our boundaries. But that's okay. I've tried to help them too. I just never thought about it, quite frankly. And another thing that was a surprise is how well we all get along. Yeah. I didn't anticipate that, Cassius. I really didn't. Right. I love this guy.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I didn't know him from anybody.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We all get along real well.
Well, and as I'll ask the same. I've got a thought on that, but I was going to ask you the same question, Mr. Lanier. What's been your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprises are the organizations and the things we have in place to assist the people in the city of Tuscaloosa that's available and ready. And I just don't think people are taking full advantage of them. And so that was my surprise, because I was thinking that we needed this, and this. And then when I joined the council, I found out that we had a lot of things available to help in pretty much every situation. All people have to do is follow through. And so, and we have a group of people at the city that's working I mean, working and
Yeah.
I promise you, I've called myself 311 or called anybody who's in any department, and I promise you, I get results in a
I
couple.
double down on that.
I'm like,
Cassius.
what's going on? So if it's this easy, you know, what's going? So yeah,
A
it's
surprise to me is not that we've got good employees, but how passionate so many of them are about their job.
Right.
And that's sort of blown me away at times.
that blew me away. I'm like, is this fake? How long is this gonna last?
Yeah.
The same way. So it's amazing team. And so I just think that more people need to just ask questions about the programs that's available to assist the community. And us as council people, we need to, you know, put it out more. And I believe this team is doing that. We're exhausting every avenue because the team is ready to work. So that surprised me.
Well, we're blessed to have an amazing staff. I mean, all of us are so fortunate. They do an amazing job. I think the thing that I've noticed, at least in my career, is that with the amount of information that's out there, which is probably the greatest amount in human history,
right?
People seem to have less of an understanding of what happens every day because. And maybe it's just because that we may tackle 50 issues in a day. If you look at our agenda items, but maybe the only one that gets any sort of notice or things that maybe where we disagree.
Right.
But most of the time, we're all in agreement.
Well, but things are so much more complicated than I ever realized too.
Yeah.
It's one thing, and I don't know if Cassius agrees, but when I was campaigning, I would look at an issue and think of it one way. But once you actually get down into it, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Your whole attitude on it may not change, but it's more complicated.
Yeah.
And I think people need to understand too, a lot of times that they think that we're not working for them. And it's not everybody, but they don't know what's going on in the background, what we're doing in meetings, trying to make it good for everybody. It just takes time. So I think this council, we work well together, and I believe that it's nothing we can't accomplish if we keep moving forward. And you know, we got a pretty good mayor too, so I think we'll be all right.
He's all right.
He's just kissing up. I know it.
I know.
We'll
We'll get that extra money. No, I'm just. It actually doesn't work that way. I mean, as much as people think it probably does, it actually absolutely not. But let's talk about getting things done.
Right.
I'm going to start with you first because you recently rode around your district with some of our team members, and I couldn't make it because of a death we had in our family. But you've identified some things that were important to you in your district. Will you mind talking a little bit about that?
Well, just community revitalization in its totality. I mean, we have a sector in our community where the McFarland Mall area is concerned, and we have like grocery stores that I would love to see upgraded. A lot of blight and a lot of abandoned businesses that went out of business. I want to see those things restored. You know, that's really huge to me. And so even we have some code enforcement in the neighborhood, not as many as I thought. I mean, we covered the entire area, but if we could uplift this area, like the corner of Skyland and McFarland, that was a huge area for commerce, for families to get together, go out and eat, shop, and so that's very important to me. And I believe it's a huge eyesore, but it could be changed. And I believe we got some things working right now that people will be surprised of. But when you get off the interstate, it's very important to me that when you look over to the left, you see our district, that you're pleased to be entering the city of Tuscaloosa, and the home of the national champions. So we should represent that coming off the interstate states. And that's how I feel.
I know that you're looking to do something through Elevate, and you and I have talked about that.
Absolutely.
If somebody wanted to share an idea with you, how would they get in touch with you if they wanted to have an idea about something for the district?
They can definitely reach me on clanier@tuscaloosa.com. Listen, my business is right in District 7, Lanier Automotive, and it's wide open to the public. And believe me, they're taking advantage of it. But, also call the city, and, Vicky would get in touch with me. My city phone number is blah, blah, blah. I got to remember that by heart. But my real phone number is 205-239-0820. I'm open. Just come see me, email me, because I'm ready to roll. And I'm open for suggestions.
Well, you have hit the ground running, and Mr. Faile, you've done the same. What's some district goals that you have in mind for District 6?
Well, first I want to say Cassius needs everybody's help. And I think one thing Mr. Tyner has said, that we all need to work and help.
Right.
But for my district, it's some things people complain about. The drainage, the flood issues we've had, we've got to work on that. As you well know, the lift station out on Hargrove Road East was an issue.
Lift station 42.
Lift station 42, but we've got $3 million in the new budget, thank you,
Absolutely.
to fix that. And we've got some others out there that we will get to eventually. We have some places where we need street lights, not traffic lights, but street lights.
Right.
And up above Spring Hill Lake, I'd like to do some of that. And there's a lot of paving issues.
And we talked about doing a joint project.
We're gonna pave one road that borders our district.
Which one's that?
The going into Alpine Hills.
Right.
Oh, Cypress Creek?
No, Spring Hill Lake. Spring Hill Lake and Alpine.
Alpine Hills.
Yeah.
Go in there, and we split that district.
Right.
I'm on the left, he's on the right. We're going to get it paved.
Right.
So we're excited about that, and Cassius and I have talked about some other things working together. And, you know, I guess most of the phone calls I've gotten have been after these big rains, but I suspect everybody has said that. We have some speeding issues, and you know, the honest truth is, some of these speeding issues won't ever get fixed. I mean, I was a policeman, and I know what we could do, but we can't have a policeman sitting there for 24 hours a day. And I've sympathized with some people, and we've tried to do some of that, and we've done some more enforcement. But some of these things you just can't fix, quite frankly. But we're working at it to do better. And I'm just excited to get to help people. And every now and then somebody says, thank you, Cassius. And that makes your day. It really does. I had somebody at church the other day tell me thank you.
Right.
They don't know what that meant.
It does.
But you guys know.
Yeah. It's amazing how that, you know, I was sharing with we had a team staff meeting this morning, and I got an email from a constituent talking about how good the restrooms were on the Riverwalk.
Wow.
And, you know, I was saying when I saw the subject line of the email said Riverwalk restroom, I thought, cringe. But I was so proud of our team. And so, all right, let's talk about a couple of things, and then we'll wrap up. It's a shame we only have a limited amount of time. But first of all, I was very proud of this council because we accomplished some big things in this budget.
Right.
You know, at a time when people look at federal government and sometimes state government as can't accomplishing anything, we passed a 10-year water and sewer plan.
That's a big deal.
Big deal.
Huge deal.
$300 million that will go into our infrastructure over the next 10 years. We passed a police and fire pay plan.
That's huge.
Absolutely. We moved forward a slate of Elevate projects after basically a year off because of COVID.
Absolutely.
You know, we were able to accomplish big things. Now, we're also sitting in a place here that's going to hopefully get some investments as well. And the budget included money for paving. And money for some maintenance issues. We're working with the county on the pool over here to the left.
I've gotten a number of phone calls about that pool, and people were unhappy with me because I didn't go fix it right then. But we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to fix it.
And we're working with the county on a potential joint project for that. But one way or the other, that we're going to make the investments into the pool. What would y'all like to see as the future of Bowers Park? This is one of the keystone legendary parks in our city. Mr. Lanier, I'll start with you and then end with Mr. Faile.
Man, I'd like to see more tournaments. You know, we've been the host of more, you know, national tournaments. So I don't care if it's Little League. I know
we've got one coming in 2 years.
Absolutely. And so I'm excited about that. I mean, we can hold a space. I think we have a tennis court over there that we're revising, but I'm saying softball, baseball.
Sure.
Let's strike it up out here. This is a huge, nice place. Even kickball. We used to have kickball tournaments here for community unity, and it brought the entire community out, and it helped with the curb with violence at the time. And I mean, everybody was coming.
Kids busy.
Yeah.
They're going to be busy.
Absolutely.
They're going to be busy one way or another. And it's a lot better out here.
That was in 2010 or 11. I know you remember that, but just bring a lot of more activity from outside cities to come. I believe they'll enjoy it. I mean, I believe we can upgrade it and do a few things here that they'll be pleased.
Well, I mean, we were talking earlier about, you know, you talked about being here. I grew up in Idlewood, which if you walk through the woods,
right
about 300 yards.
The trails.
We
used to do the trails right there.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I used to jump the fence and have park rangers run me off.
Right.
And so I played a lot of Pac-Man over there.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But, you know, Mr. Faile, you had a story about
Well,
working out here? Why don't you share that story as we close up?
When I was a young teenager, we cut the grass over where the tennis courts are, and we practiced baseball and then played here. But when I was 16, I got my very first job, and it was keeping the scorebook for women's fast pitch softball. And Cassius, they paid me $1 every game. And, you know, that was pretty good because I'd do about 10 or 12 a week.
Right.
And I had gas money and I could go to the movies if I wanted
No
to.
doubt
So
about it.
it wasn't hard either.
Oh, Mr. Faile, you're just taking us off to the next level. Well, I want to thank these two gentlemen for joining us today. I've served on the city council and I served in your district, and it's hard. It's a hard job because you know, constituents come to you. You're in many cases their last resort. They've worked through a process, and I know how hard you work, and a lot of times your efforts are not seen.
Right.
But they're there, and I want you to know how much we and I appreciate it. Our team appreciates it. And I appreciate the way that y'all hit the ground running. I don't know of any new council that had to take on what y'all had to take on that first budget year. And y'all did a great job.
We're definitely smarter now. I know we're smarter.
Well, we know better where to look.
I didn't cram this much in college, but yeah, I'm smarter.
Well, and then unlike, you know, most, social media adds a new dynamic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you have to address it.
Got a
But you know what? I'm proud of y'all, and I'm proud of this city.
Thank you.
And thank you who have tuned in to Tuscaloosa Talks. For more information on our city council members, you can go to Tuscaloosa.com. If you have any questions for them or for me, just reach out at mayor@Tuscaloosa.com. Have a great day.